Showtime.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
And we're the Streeters.
Welcome to the ARTyRV channel, where we teach, learn, and share everything about glass.
That's right, Barb. And it's a beautiful Monday evening here in South Carolina. And we're happy to be on air with all of our friends. Thanks again for tuning in tonight. Those of you, if you're just tuning in, hopefully sometime tonight you'll learn a little something. And we would like you to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, thumbs up works for us too.
So we are here to answer your stained glass questions tonight. So just put your questions in the comment or in the chat, whichever it is. We're on Facebook, and we're also on YouTube tonight.
Yeah, and we have a 10-minute delay on Facebook, everybody. So just want to let you know. So technically, we'll be starting at 7:10 on Facebook. So
I don't know how that works, but they tell me it's a 10-minute delay.
Yeah. But that's okay. It's great. So I think we had some really good questions come in last week during the week.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. We're happy to have your questions come in during the week. And, our cutoff is on Sunday for Monday night's program. So those of you that got your questions in, of course, it was a holiday weekend, but we still checked the emails yesterday and got, right up to the last question so that we could get you in tonight, I hope.
Charlie Miles is here. Julie Bison is here from New Hampshire. Perhaps we can do an update on rapid resizer versus glass eye programs. And Kat St. Jane. So, Ed, what do you have going on with your rapid resizer?
Well, the rapid resizer, as y'all know, I'm really busy, but we are, I've got everything installed now, and we are working on, I'm learning right now, I'm teaching myself how to install and download my new drawings for our patterns that are coming up on our website for you. So I'm putting all that into the computer, and then I'm going to use their color page. And we're going to have that particular pattern, and down in the bottom will be a suggestion of colors and also a color printout of that particular pattern. So I'm working on trying to get that done. It's not, I'm very computer illiterate, y'all, I promise you. But we do have it going on, and Barbara's working with the glass eye. But also we're working on another project that is actually going to make us be able to really dive deep into this program and start working with it a little bit more in depth.
Yeah. And so Ed had to first draw what he's doing now is doing original patterns and uploading them to that program.
To the program.
So first he had to learn how to take his patterns, upload them to his computer.
I had to email them I had to photograph them, email them to myself, and then upload them to my computer, and now I have to download them into the program.
So that's a process that he has to learn. So it's taken us a little bit longer, but we're moving straight along, and
the program's already paid for, so it's
so the glass eye program. I haven't jumped into that yet, but I should be doing that soon. Like Ed said, we've got this big project coming up that will be used in both programs. So
and hopefully because with the rapid resizer, not only can you use just your basic printer, you can also print your patterns out on a large format printer. So now we're looking into a large format printer to work with our rapid resizer program, so that we don't have to tape everything together. We just take a 42-inch wide piece of paper and print the pattern out for the customer and show them exactly what it's going to look like.
So before I purchase the rapid resizer, I want to see if it has features that I'm going to use, because this little program he's using seems like it has everything that we'll ever use. But we'll see as we get
we purchased the rapid resizer. You're talking about the glass eye program that you're looking at?
Yeah.
So the rapid resizer, we bought the rapid resizer Pro, and it's an annual membership. We just paid for it for the year, which is $119, I believe, which I thought was pretty good. It saved us about, $30 for the year. But hey, $30 is a nice lunch out for Barbara and I. So we saved that. And again, I'm learning how to do it, and we're going to make sure that it does print with a large format printer. I don't want to have to tape things together because of the scale of work that we do. But it is going to be nice not to have to draw everything by hand. But I have a lot of fun drawing too.
Yeah, well, you can still draw. You can still draw.
I can still draw.
Okay, Magali is here. CM is here. Ray is here. Hi, Ray. So good to see you. And Magali and James Smallridge is here.
Great. Nice
Art
to see you.
is here. AK Martinez is here. And like I said, Magali and Ray are here. Mike is here. And he said his great-grandfathers were both Scottish stained glass artists.
Wow.
And he has their old business cards and old newspaper advertisements from the 20s through the 50s.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
So yeah, wow, what a story that is. That's a great story. That's a great story. I can just imagine.
And to have stuff from your great grandfathers. Holy cow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
You are. That is very nice. So yeah, we've got a big bunch. We got a big crowd here tonight, and welcome everyone. It's good to see all of you. Stephanie Stewart is here. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, Stephanie.
How are you doing?
How are you?
And everything going good? I hope that the house is all settled and you're
back in and
everything.
And hopefully, things are going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in tonight, Stephanie.
Thanks for coming in. So
thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Are you kidding me?
I'm just seeing people I haven't seen in a while, so please excuse me, but welcome everyone. So I did have a couple questions come in over the week. Okay, let me find one for you.
She's looking. Whoa, I'm sorry.
He did that.
Don't forget to ring the bell, y'all.
He did that on purpose, y'all. He did.
Sometimes I walk in front of the car and Barbara's locking her car and I don't think anything about it. And that horn blows and I bet I almost jumped right out of my.
That can
I'm keeping my foot away. I'm keeping my foot away.
Okay, that was good, Ed.
Yeah,
that was nice.
I'm sorry. Keeping my foot away.
All right, here's your question.
Okay, give it to me.
Okay. How do you install a leaded stained glass window in a metal framed window?
In a metal frame or a steel sash window is what you're calling it. So what you have to do, number one, is remove all the old glazing putty. And in that glazing putty, you're going to find what are called steel sash clips. Those sash clips are what had held the window pane glass into the steel sash in the beginning. Steel sash clips are hard to find. Normally you can find them at C.R. Lawrence or some of your old glazing companies that have been around for a while can get that to you, but you have to clean that opening out thoroughly. Back bed your what's called the pinch weld on the steel sash, set your leaded glass into it, firm it up around it, install your steel sash clips to hold the window in place, and then come back with your DAP 1080, I believe it is. That is your steel sash glazing compound. It's gray. It's not white. It's made for steel sashes. Probably going to cost you about $100 a gallon. So you can kind of do the math. If you need a quart, it's probably going to run you about $25 or probably closer to $32 because you're buying less rather than more.
Now, is she talking about, is that, well, I think Kat
in a metal frame window, that's a steel sash window.
Okay. And I didn't know whether, there are some other kind. That's Kat St. Jane. Is that the kind
is a steel sash window, Kat?
Is it steel sash or is it a metal? I'm sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something like a patio door, or a metal door insert or something like that. No,
that
wouldn't be.
I don't know.
Okay.
There's a metal.
Yes.
Steel sash, right?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. The hardest thing though is, like I said, if you're taking the glazing out of that old window, look for the little clips. They're like a V with two hooks on. One hook goes in, one hook goes out. and there's a little hole in that steel sash that the pin goes in, and then you turn it and push it against it, and it holds the glass like that. Okay. So get us some steel sash clips. You're going to find the holes in the steel sash approximately every 8 to 10 inches apart, something like that. So anyway, that's what you need to do. Do make sure. We just glazed a window like that, Barb, up in Whiteville, remember? That was a steel sash.
Right. That's right.
And
do I have film of that?
we may or may not have film of that, but
I'll
we'll see, because you did film glazing it.
I did film it. I think I was going to do a short. Yep.
Okay, but anyway,
We'll
yeah. So the steel sash ways to do it. And if you have trouble getting the glazing out of the steel sash, take a little small propane torch, and if you just heat that glazing up that's stuck in there, give it a second to cool off, and then just it comes right out.
Yep.
So but be careful not to break any other glass beside it. So don't spend a lot of time on the heat, but you can use that small propane torch to do that with, and it will help you a lot, right?
Right. Okay. Ray says, on your last big window project where you had to use a scissor lift, how did you fasten the glass panels to the inside of the clear windows? Did you use a silicone glue or what?
Ray, actually, on the installation of those windows, everything, the patterns that Phil and I made that day in the 25-mile-an-hour wind, from the outside of that job, actually the windows fit quite well. I was really excited about it. So, and you know what? As long as I've been doing this, they should have fit well, right? So anyway, what we did though is once we installed them, there's no silicone on the stained glass or the clear glass. What we did is once we put the glass in behind the clear glass, we came back with our 1/2 by 1/2 pre-punch aluminum stop, and we drilled and countersunk, like on the long pieces that were 34 inches, there were 3 screws in each stop. And on the bottom and the top, there were 2 screws in each stop. And then what we did is we just ran a small bead of clear silicone around that so that the windows aren't fixed. The air moves through them. And you know what? We haven't had one problem with those windows sweating, which is awesome.
Right, right.
So I hope that answers your question, Ray. That's a 1/2 by 1/2 pre-punch aluminum stop used in storefront glazing. You're right there where in the PPG country. But any of your glazing companies around that area, the area you live in, Ray, should be able to help you with that.
AK Martinez says they made their first sun catcher that was larger for them. It was about 8 inches round. All the pieces fit. The solder lines didn't mortify them. They made it for the owner of a dispensary that had been helping vets in Texas. Well, that's very nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's very
awesome.
Thoughtful. Thank you.
Thank
you for sharing that.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's a nice story. So let's see. Okay. We had a question from AK Martinez. They want to know, how does the Vitria 160 hold up the paint? Is it a decent paint?
I can't give you an answer to that because I don't use it.
Magali said she used the paint and she has not had an issue. She said it's a great alternative paint if you don't have a kiln.
Right. So it must be a low fire paint. And if it is, it fires in your oven, I guess, at about 400 degrees.
160. Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. So there's different low fire paints, but hey, if they're working for you, that's awesome, because no matter how you paint on your work, if you can make it stay, or it will stay, you're always enhancing your work. So, if it's something simple as an eye, or it's something, just an outline of a flower to enhance the glass that you're working with, hey, that's awesome. I mean, if it works, please do it. We use what we use because that's all we've ever known. But we're fortunate enough to have the equipment to be able to fire it low, high, in between, under, over, whatever we need to do with it. So,
and how we acquired that equipment is we would make a list every year at the beginning of the year. Okay, this is our dream wish list here. If we get
we had a wish list.
if we get a big job, we'll buy this piece of equipment. If we get another big job, we'll buy this piece of equipment. So every time we got a job that we felt like was enough profit to sustain us and make a profit, and then we'd buy a piece of equipment to add to our
right. So don't be afraid
portfolio.
Don't be afraid to buy new equipment, because you get to depreciate your equipment. So it's not like, if you spend $1,000, yeah, or you can expense it out, right? And Barbara takes care of all that. But what I'm saying is that initial investment, you get it back over a period of years. And then y'all know, and I know, we've got one kiln in the back we've had for 25 years. They don't wear out. If you take care of them, they don't wear out. And we've got the little kiln Bam Bam in the stained glass room that we use for making small stuff. Golly, Barb, that thing's 32 years old.
Yeah, that's a great little kiln.
It's crazy.
Okay, Mike says he loves the window behind us.
Oh,
what,
thanks.
in our opinion, does the domestic stained glass add to a home, and should more people get it done? Excuse me.
Well, something about stained glass is that it is affordable now, basically for everybody, even if you have to save money to get it. This window behind us, you probably know the story. Barbara's mother bought that for Barbara and I, 25 years ago, 30 years ago. And then, and it had a couple broken pieces in it. And while we were out of town one week, my father restored it for us and put it back in that frame. So we have that, and it'll be going in our house up in the foothills, but in the upstate. But that window, I think that, well, just like today, we sold a job to a customer, and she saw it about stained glass and that we were accepting new commissions in our newsletter. And she called us up last week, and we met with her today. But people, stained glass is affordable, don't you think, Barb? I mean, it's not completely out of reach.
Yeah, and so
people.
do you feel like it adds to a home? I mean,
well, I think what it does is it makes you smile. Color makes me smile. And, when I walk in the studio every day, and come in, and before I go into my office, I look down the hall, and there's this 2.5 foot by 6.5 foot window at the end of the hallway in our glass studio that is parrots. And those make me smile. And I just think adding stained glass to your home, whether it's a small piece to accent your kitchen cabinet, even as small as a kitchen cabinet, you can make a statement in your home, and you can do something that'll make you smile every day when you walk into that room. I mean, that's just me. That might not answer your question, Mike. But.
As a stained glass artist, I say, yes, more people should put stained glass in their home, but it definitely, it has to be a statement of their own personality. So sometimes you'll find that, buying a home with someone else's stained glass may not be their style, but I think most of the time people are pretty traditional.
Yeah. And, several of the homes that we've owned, we have left stained glass behind, and it's still there.
And it's still there. So, it increases in value. And if people are aware of that, they'll keep it. But it's really a personal preference, a personal style. Because you could go from a craftsman style to Victorian. There's so many choices.
And we did.
For you to make a statement about your own style.
We went from a craftsman style home where we put stained glass.
Okay.
And then we went to It wasn't a Victorian. It was a colonial revival.
Colonial. Okay. Is there a right side? I find this an interesting question because.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll put my listening ears
you
on
answer, and then I have an opinion. Okay. Is there a right side to paint on? Do you paint on the front or the back, or does it not matter?
Well, it depends on what you're painting on. To me, if you're painting on clear glass, yeah, it doesn't matter which side of the glass you paint on. If you're painting on, well, you know what? I think the side you paint on, if you're going to paint on a textured or a opalescent or a streaky glass, that is going to dictate what you want to win, what you want it to look like with no light behind it. That would be me, because the glass looks two different ways. In the live oak tree project, that window is completely different during the day than it is at night. Totally, completely different. Because at night we have light in front of it, inside. And during the day we have light behind it, and there's not enough light inside to illuminate the inside.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yes, she is.
Warn me next time.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, so that
he likes attention. Can you tell? Okay. Let's see who's here. Okay. Are you finished talking?
Let's do a price check. See who's here.
Okay. Let's see. A lot of people have come in. Okay. Is there a right side to paint on? We were answering that question.
Yeah.
First, let's answer that question. On plate glass and window glass, there's a tin side. And then there's the other side.
Right.
One side has more tin. So
well, the tin, because it's called float glass, it floats on a layer of tin as it's cooling.
So you have to figure that out because the paints will react
differently. Right.
Okay, so that's on float glass.
Yeah, that's on window pane glass, okay, which is called float glass. So the layer of tin that it floats on is the side that you don't want to paint on, because your colors will react differently.
Okay. Let me see if I can start at the right place where I get everybody in here. Mimi's here. Mark Mason is here. Christy is here. And
well, we got a great group in here tonight. Thank y'all
we got a huge group today. Okay. Julie says that the pieces she does for private commissions were installed so they could be removed if they decided to sell the house. It's also a good negotiating tool.
I agree, because that's exactly how I sold the job today. Part of it was because I could install it in her bathroom, and her husband and her both work in the medical field. So they do, they probably move frequently. So anyway, yeah, I was like, hey, we'll put this in. Once we get it installed, you just give us a call. We'll take it out, put it in a crate, and you're on your way with it. She's like, oh, that's awesome. So,
okay.
And it is a great selling point.
AK Martinez says they have migraines and normally hate light, but doing little pieces and looking at them has transferred their dislike for light into more of an appreciation. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Jenny Dalton is here. Ray. Ray's here. He laughed at that. He thought that was funny. Keep your foot off the bell.
I did. It's not on. My foot is off the bell, Ray. I'm not allowed to sit with my legs crossed or lift
your foot off the bell. He moves around too much.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Jenny says, hi, Ed and Barb. Will we be showing their projects?
Yes, we will.
What is that? Which one?
The Pelican.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because we've started cutting glass, Jenny. It's good to see you. I hope everybody's well in the family and everything's well in the business. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
So we'll be showing that next week?
Probably, yes. Probably next week. Yeah, because it's on the table. It's being cut right now. So we'll get some photographs to you.
I have some footage of it, but it's not. It's not completed, so I have to wait until it's done.
It's on the light
box.
But
it's good to see. I was like, project. And then I saw your last name and I was like, okay, that's awesome. Okay. don't forget to give Ed and Barb a thumbs up. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. Appreciate that. Because you know why? It's our favorite finger.
Yes, it is. Okay. Do we have any other questions that I missed? Okay. I don't think so.
I don't know. So I got something new. While Barb's looking that up, I got something new I want to share with everybody. I'm going to share with y'all our new hats that came in today that arrived. Phil got them ready for us there at All Star Screen Printing here in Conway, South Carolina. We have a beautiful turquoise hat, and these are like stonewashed jeans. This is a black hat, and it really looks good with Barbara's hair. Look at that. That's awesome.
Gray.
And this one, y'all, is a little bit brighter than my shirt, but it's pretty cute. We could switch. But anyway, I just wanted to show y'all we got our new hats. They'll be online. You can order them
next the end of the week.
The end of the week, they'll be online.
The aprons are in.
And
so it'll be updated.
The navy blue aprons arrived today as well. So Phil was on the job today, man. We got a nice delivery today.
Okay, so Mike looked on the website. He's looking for the putty recipe. Look on the Conway Glass
Tools
website
and patterns.
Tools and Patterns page. That's where it is. That's where it should be. Yes. Tools and Patterns page.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we were just discussing that yesterday.
Mm-hmm. I think we changed that page a little bit.
We did, because it used to be tools and merchandise, and so now it's tools.
Because we're getting ready to put patterns on.
Yeah, we're getting ready to load it up with patterns. All original
from
designs.
Rapid Resizer.
From Ed and Rapid Resizer. Yeah.
Okay, we had a question. Okay. Will clear coat keep stained glass from needing wax? Will it hurt your stained glass? Clear coat.
Yeah, because eventually it's going to start to fail. You're better off to the only thing you want to use clear coat on is the back of a mirror. The back of a mirror, before you put it into a jewelry box, you would clear coat it. I wouldn't spray clear coat on my stained glass on my glass for nothing. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't do it. However, if you want to try it and then set it out in the sun and see what it does, but I'm pretty sure it's
going to chip it.
I'm pretty sure it's going to fail it. Yeah, it's going to fail. And that's just.
I would experiment with couple pieces of scrap glass.
I surely wouldn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't experiment on your customer stuff. Yeah.
I wouldn't experiment with a nice little sun catcher you made. Just some pieces of glass and see what happens.
Make sure you get all the acid off of it using the baking soda and water method, and then spray it with clear coat. I just don't, anyway, I don't think that I would do it. There used to be some art glass that was coming out of the other side of the ocean a while back, and they were lacquering color onto the glass. And now, oh man, and people were paying big bucks for it. It was really sad because we were getting calls to come repair the stuff, and no thank you.
Yeah,
it was disappointing to the homeowners because they paid a lot of money for that stuff, and really it was not good at all. It was really sad.
Okay, Magali has a question. When fusing with her little kiln, will it affect the way the glass reacts if I use it in the garage since it's warmer, or is it better to use it inside? She's only doing jewelry.
Oh, just doing jewelry, the humidity is not going to affect it. Magali, as long as you take it up slow, you're going to eliminate any moisture, whether it's in your house or in your garage, either one. And of course, where you live at, you have a lot of humidity. But if you take it up slow enough in the beginning, of course, with the plug out, let it get up to 500, put the plug in and let it finish what it's doing. The humidity will be gone out of that kiln. It should be fine.
Well, you first have to, when put your kiln wash, if you're using kiln wash, you have to, I always heated up my kiln and let it kind of
air dry
it out like that.
150, 200 degrees.
But if you're using paper, you shouldn't have any problem at all.
Oh yeah. If you're using the ceramic paper, definitely won't have any problem with golly. Yeah.
Mike says the famous artist Matisse did stained glass window in France for his Rosary Chapel. And he says it's amazing how stained glass windows enclose the space into spiritual stillness, for sure.
Yeah. I saw some windows that did the same thing to me in the Museum of Art in Philadelphia. that were from the 1500s. And I was just like, I got to sit down, because they had brought the entire, not just the window, they brought the whole wall over and installed it in the museum in Philadelphia. And I was just like, I told Barbara, I got to sit down. I got to enjoy this, take it in. So yeah, stained glass in churches, cathedrals, things like that are very inspiring and definitely moving. Will make you think about things you didn't think of before. That's for sure.
Okay. So yeah, test out that spray on that glass.
That'd be interesting to see how it works, because I personally, I wouldn't try it, but
good question, Kathy. That's a good question. Dawn Kunkel's here. And Magali said, yes, she's using paper. Dawn said she just saw Dale Chihuly work in Grand Rapids.
Oh, wow. Okay. At the Botanical Garden there in Grand Rapids, I guess, where it was. He's really makes absolutely
amazing.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
Talk about inspiration and color.
Now that'll get you going. Even his drawings, when he throws coffee on them, will get you inspired. So.
Had a question about a soldering iron. I guess this is a new person. They have a 100-watt Weller. Oh no, it's not a new person. This person has had a 100-watt Weller soldering iron for years, and was told it had a built-in rheostat. But now she's wondering if she really has one with the rheostat. You would know. It would. You would know because you
pay almost $200 for it. Number one.
And now she's looking, and they have different. She doesn't understand the 60, 80, and 100. That's not the rheostat.
No, that's the wattage of your iron. You can use a 80-watt or a 100-watt iron for stained glass. I prefer a 100-watt iron. I have the Weller 1075, which is an 80-watt, and I use that a lot too. But what you have to do is turn your rheostat a little bit differently. And so your rheostat, if you have a controller in your iron, it's going to be right on the very top.
Yes.
Unless they've changed them, but it's going to be on the top. Or the other thing is when it's got a little thing that you plug it into, and there's a rheostat there, but I don't think so. You could send us a picture of your iron, because most irons, if you've got a rheostat incorporated in them, they're going to run you about $179 for the iron. So, you're not going to get an iron with a rheostat in it for $69. You can't find them anywhere.
So if you're watching tonight, I've lost
Susan Baker.
Oh, Susan Baker. If you're watching tonight, Susan, if you've got that soldering iron, you need a rheostat.
Yeah, you should get a rheostat. Let me get one and just show.
Let Eddie show you the temperature, because we keep getting questions. What temperature should I put that rheostat on? And he's going to show you how he sets his for.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm hobbling around a little bit tonight.
Close quarters back here.
Oh, but hey, you know what? Yesterday.
Everybody's here, though.
Yesterday, Barbara and I did 2 walks, 2 separate times of the day, and both of them were awesome. There were about 1,500 steps a piece for both of us.
We're trying to get up to 10,000 steps.
Yeah, we can. So anyway, this is what they call it. This is a little, and I've had this for a long time. This is what they call a mini phaser. And
I can't see it. Can you put it under there?
I'm going to put it right here.
Okay,
yeah,
there
we go. Okay, so this is a mini phaser.
Okay, let me do this.
Iron. This is an iron control. Okay. See, I've got my little red light
upside down,
on.
but that's not anything.
That's all right.
Yeah.
If you want to see it, this is how it goes. When I'm working, right there is where I put my iron, between 70 and 80, like 75. But you know what? That's going to change. If you're working in your garage and it's October, you may have to turn it up a little bit. If you're working in your garage and it's August, you may want to have to turn it down just a little bit. You're going to adjust the temperature to how it works for you and how fast you work. If in fact you don't work real quick, you may need it just at 70. You never need it all the way up. That's just, don't even do that. What if you're going to run it all the way wide open? All you're going to do is ruin your iron, ruin your tip, and you're going to be spending money that you don't need to. So this is a little mini phaser wattage controller. Your iron plugs in back here. Your temperature or the amount of electricity that's being fed to your soldering iron is controlled by this. This is exactly like a dimmer switch on your wall, except that controls a light bulb. This controls the amount of electricity that feeds to your soldering iron that will get the temperature just right. If you're using lead, or copper foil, it doesn't matter. I'm a firm believer in the rheostat. If you don't use a rheostat, you're just creating more problems for yourself, I think.
Okay.
So, but
Thank
anyway,
you, Ed.
I got to have that rheostat because it's the way to go.
Okay. Thanks, Ed.
You're welcome, Barb.
That was very helpful.
It's awesome.
So Karen Mills is here. Hey, Karen, it's good to see you. Let's see who else came in. Joyce is here. She made it too. Craig Stevens is here. Hey, Craig. Craig said that they had the Frank Lloyd Wright's library on display at the Allentown Art Museum for years, stained glass and all, impeccable design. Awesome.
That's right, Craig. I forgot you were from up in the Pittsburgh area too, buddy.
Yes. Karen Mills said her dad just got back from Europe and sent her some amazing photos of stained glass. Yeah, their stained glass goes back way many years.
Yeah, and we have a little jewel right here in South Carolina, Bart. Well, we have several jewels. One of them's in Charleston at the Citadel.
Oh yeah.
The chapel at the Citadel in Charleston has just some amazing stained glass windows, and it is open to the public.
Okay, I think. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, I think that everyone's here. All of our groupies are here. And okay, so I think we are ready for maybe glass chat, right? Glass chat or a demo. You want to do a demo?
Well, we can do a glass chat real quick.
What did you
I'm just going to show everybody a quick, easy way to make a soldering iron stand.
Okay, so you want the camera?
Yeah, let's do that, and I'll show everybody.
I'll put it up right here. Okay.
So I want to show you, this is just a simple piece of 1/2-inch plywood. And I've got a piece of aluminum U-track. Screwed to the board. And this allows me to lay my soldering iron right in there just like that. So, some of the soldering irons, they send you that little cheesy piece of metal that you have to bend and all that. At least this will secure it, your soldering iron. It won't, it's not going to roll off the table, roll into your arm, roll onto your table and catch a fire while you run to the restroom or something. Anyway, this will control it. This is really easy to make. It's very simple. So anyway, I just want to let you know that we have a lot of those in that we use for our classes. So earlier today, we had somebody wanted to know. They said, "Hey, how do you cut?" I may pronounce this wrong. The yin and yang, okay?
Yin and yang.
Yin and yang. So I went out to the dining room table, and Barbara had printed this out at the house. Well, the way that you cut this is going to be the way that you cut any other glass, okay? You're going to have to, number one, figure out the best way to do it. Number two, you're going to need, for this project, I believe, you're going to need 2 pair of grousing pliers because you're going to need a way to hang on to it. The other thing is you're never, and I'm sure that you can see that, you're not going to get that point out of glass. That area, when you solder this, that little bit of an area is going to be closed up. You're not going to see that at all. However, what you're going to need to do is take this, and I'm going to grab a little bit smaller piece of glass because I'm going to cut one of these at a time for us. So we're going to take that. And I'm putting that right under there, just like that. Okay. Let me get a little bit closer, Barb says.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay. So what I want you to see, and I'm going to do this with a marker first. Okay. So we're going to cut this. And when we come down here, we're going to come down here like this. Okay. Just like that. And then I'm going to do another cut in here. Then I'm going to come down and go right in here. So this is coming out first. Okay. And then this will come out second. The reason I'm going to do this number 2 is because I've got more glass, more meat down here that I can control as try to control as much of this point here as possible. Now, rule number 1, when you're cutting glass, guess what you do? You stand up, everybody. Takes me a little while to stand up, but I'm up. Okay? So we're just like we showed you. We're going to come over here. Ed's cutting glass. Now remember, we're cutting a pattern, so what is Ed doing? He's pushing. And we're going to come right over here and go right out that way. Okay? And we'll try and scoot in there. Okay. Remember, just work it back and forth just a little bit like that, and that thing will come right out of it. Okay. So now we're going to get back on our pattern. We're going to take this a little bit out right here. And now I'm going to come in. And we're going to take this out right here. I'm assuming, okay, that part of this project is what our yin and yang question was talking about, okay? Okay, see that? A little bit back and forth. Click, 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 click. Okay, so let's move this out of the way. Let me get my little trash can here, everybody. Hold on. Hold on. So now we have a little bit of a, and we can get that grousing plier right in there, just like that. Okay. So now this cut here, we got to come all the way around. And what's going to happen is it's going to make it so much easier. Okay, so because I left this long, what I'm finding I have to do is get in here like this. Okay. Okay. I got it running now, y'all. Let's chase it. There it goes. We're going to continue to chase this around with our fingers. There it goes. Shake it. Pull it off. Okay.
Hey, I should have applause in here.
So
right?
now when you grind that, you're going to get, wow, you're going to get almost every bit of that point, because you took the time to do one thing is you left this a little wider, and you can get that point. So anyway, that's my way of cutting out. Well, that's the yin. Okay. We're not going to cut the yang, but I will tell you this. The other question was, how do you do the dot on top? two different ways, I think.
Okay.
Right here, if you have a kiln, what I would do is I would cut a white circle and a black circle. Of course, your pieces of glass are black and white, and then your circles are just the opposite. I would cut that circle, put it in my kiln, put a little bit of spray or anti-divertification spray, and just roll the edges and then glue it on. The other thing you can do is use fusing compatible glass, and after you cut it, is actually tack fuse this piece on. The other thing you could do is paint it. Or number 4, get a white nugget and a black nugget and just glue them right on there, and then you're good to go. So anyway, there's your yang. Over here with your yang. Thanks for tuning in tonight. That's Glass Chat for Ed. We really appreciate it. Hopefully you learned something. But keep in mind, when you're cutting glass, take your time, but look at how it's got to come out of there and try to eliminate the weakest point before it eliminates your piece. Does that make any sense, Barb?
Yes, yes. Okay, so I had some questions coming in.
Oh, no.
The cardinal pattern, James, the cardinal pattern is on the ConwayGlass.com website. Go to ARTyRV tools and patterns, and it's there. Okay, and
we have new patterns coming out soon as well.
Aurora would like to know, what type of mirror does she need to use for a kaleidoscope?
All right, that's going to be, they make a special mirror that they'll sell you. But you can use 1/8 inch mirror, just regular 1/8 inch thin mirror. And you just have to make sure that it's really clean. And when you tape it together in that triangle, that's exactly what you do. You tape it together with electrical tape on both ends and in the center, because what you're going to find, you don't have to solder that. You want that electrical tape. That's going to hold it together. And because it's rubber, that tape will never rot. My father used to make them, and that was how he would do it.
Okay. And she was asking I'm not sure. But Aurora. What type of mirror? And so you need that
1/8 inch.
Yeah, you can use the 1/8 inch mirror.
That's what I was saying. I mean, so you don't have to, spend a lot of money, because they do make a kaleidoscope mirror. It's really lightweight.
Yeah, the kaleidoscope mirror is lightweight and especially made for kaleidoscopes. And I think it has a better optic quality too.
It's possible, because it is much more expensive. Yes.
Yeah. So I would buy that. I mean, personally, if I was going to invest in the time and trouble
to make kaleidoscopes,
making kaleidoscopes, I would invest in the mirror, because it gives you a quality product. My personal opinion. If you're just doing it for the fun of it, just put regular mirror in it.
Yeah, because you can make kaleidoscopes out of paper towel rolls.
You can make, so if you're just doing, that kind of thing, type of mirror for kaleidoscope, it's that it's less than an 1/8 inch. I think it's a 16th.
It's like a 16th.
Is it called single sided? What is it called? It has a special name. You can find it at your stained glass
supplier. And it doesn't have a backing on it. The silver is the backing.
Okay. Well, maybe that's okay.
There's Susan. Did we answer her question? I hope.
Susan wants to know about your post-operation well-being.
Oh, hey, I am doing well. My doctor says that I'm doing much better than some of his patients because I'm healing up, and I've lost 20 pounds since my surgery, and Barbara's taken really good care of me. And that, my friends, is the reason that I'm healing up so well.
He's doing a great job. He's doing everything they tell him to do, and I guess that's why he's healing. So he's a good patient. Okay.
Thank you for asking. That's
Julie
great.
says those pattern lines are the biggest lines she's ever seen. I downloaded. I was trying to find a pattern for this because we had a question about it. The only one I could find that I could download was on Canva. So it's not a
No.
authentic stained glass pattern. If we were going to sell anything,
we
have to draw one.
And anybody can draw the yin and yang. This one that just gave me a point to cut from.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until I printed it out, and I was like, yeah. I said the same thing. I said, is that going to work? I'll make it work.
The main question, I think, is our person that wanted to know how to cut this out didn't know how to attack this. Okay.
The lines, yes.
If you don't know how to attack your cut, and this is a beautiful design for fleur-de-lis. This is in many, many, many church windows. The fleur-de-lis like this. Many church windows.
So that explains it. Yeah, that is kind of kooky, isn't it? She's probably saying, wonder why. Yes.
Yeah, that's kooky, right?
Okay, what are you doing over there?
Nothing. I'm just setting this right here.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's how we did it. We wanted to show you that it's possible. And the best part about that whole cutting glass demonstration, Barbara?
What?
I didn't break it. Yeah, and it didn't embarrass me on national television.
Yeah, national TV. International TV.
International TV.
Yeah. So do we have any more questions? Goodness gracious, it's good to see everyone. Have I missed any questions? Have we answered all the questions? Ray said that was a nice demo. AK Martinez said, thank you. Karen gave you a bunch of thumbs up.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, everybody.
Chrissy said you're the glass boss. And so Joyce
thank you.
has got to go. She's been playing hooky. Okay. We won't tell anybody. And she'll catch us next week.
Look forward to it. Don't forget, y'all. Hey, take a minute. If you're new to the channel or just laying back in the wings watching us, go ahead and sign in. Let us know that you're there. And please subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up. And don't forget, if you ring that bell will let you know when we have a new video coming out or when we're having a live stream.
So when you're supposed to ring the bell, is that when you don't ring the bell?
I'm not sure. But go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you would. Please subscribe to our channel.
How about?
And
you can't find it.
I can't find it. Hang on.
He did it from himself.
I got it.
You got it? Okay. That's good. That's enough. Okay. Thank you.
Man, that thing is hollow.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. All right. That's cool.
Yeah. So you guys tuning in every Monday night, and everybody that's new, want to take a minute and just say hi to everybody. And because, stained glass is very interesting. Myself personally, I learn something every day, even though I've been doing this for 43 years. I still learn something every day.
We learn something every time we do a live stream from you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I hear things that, I think I may not be up on all of the coolest things, but I'm up on what I do for a living, though. I promise you that.
And thank you, everyone, for liking and subscribing and
thumbs up.
Yeah, because we're on Facebook too. So like us, and love us, and
follow us.
Yeah.
And is that Facebook? Stuff. You follow? Do you follow on Facebook?
You follow. Yeah, okay. You follow on Facebook. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
See, I'm still learning, everybody. I'm still learning.
Facebook and YouTube are our two biggest followings. We have almost 5,000. Well, we've got 4,000 some on each media. So we have quite a following. And we appreciate each and every one of you. Mark Mason, what would the tax in my repair make you think as far as possible time frame that the window was built? Do you remember the window we were talking about?
Yeah, with the tax inside of it, probably, I would say probably as late as the 50s and as early as maybe the 20s. That's a big time frame there, but some of the windows that I've worked on that when that fellowship hall was built, in the early 50s, prior to the Korean War. Then, I've seen tacks in there, but I've also pulled tacks that were holding windows in that was built at the turn of the century too. So that was a very popular way to hold a low profile way to hold the lead into the wood. And that tack being almost a square or a rect or a triangular tack was not coming out of that wood, nor was it coming out of the lead, because you didn't have time to wait for your back bedding to set up. So you put your back bedding in, you drove that furniture tack or that upholstery tack in there, and then you put your glazing compound, cut the glazing away, and went on to the next one. So there's probably, there's probably a 50 years that they use that, and even more, really. I mean, they could have used tacks that held shoes together prior to that in the 1800s. They may have used those tacks.
You're going.
I don't know, man,
wild.
but I've worked on some really old windows though, Barb.
Yeah,
and we, gosh, when you see them, you just, I mean, I've even taken windows apart where I took the top half of the lead off, pulled it off, and then pushed the glass out from underneath, and ended up with a skeleton of that window, so I could make darn sure I put it back together the correct way. And I know, if you don't run your lead lines right, it doesn't matter how good you draw the pattern, it's not going to look like the pattern.
James says, thank you for doing this every week. Aurora said, thank you. Ray, Magali, she's telling everybody to give us a thumbs up. Thank you, Magali.
Thank you, Magali.
You and Ray are the best. And so Julie said the window behind us is absolutely gorgeous. She said it's absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's beautiful too.
There, see, it made you smile, I hope. And that's what stained glass does.
So if you're on Facebook, you're either watching the Conway Glass feed or the ARTyRV feed. We're on both. So
she got them both working. You see, I could never do that.
I don't know how it happened, but it did. Last time we couldn't get them both working.
I could never do that.
So that was good. So people that don't normally know we're on, they found us.
Right.
And I want to say a big, hey, did I miss Craig? Oh, no.
We talked about
I talked to Craig. Okay. A friend came on tonight that I haven't heard from in a while.
Yeah.
He used to live here. He moved away.
And y'all know the sign that you see on the front of our building when we do the live streams and we do a lot of our videos. That sign that says Conway Glass, our friend Craig Stevens designed and hand painted that right sign. That Craig did this sign for us, y'all. It's right there. It's in the middle of our building. It's 8 feet tall. It's 4 feet wide.
And he hand paints.
And he is old school sign painter. And
so
you know what?
Here tonight. Very talented person.
Very talented person. Happy.
Like all you guys.
Yeah. And happy to be all of your friends. Yeah. Because in order to make yourself talented and successful, you surround yourself with talent and success. And thank you guys for doing that for us. We appreciate it.
Yes. Surround yourself with talent. And I think that's what we do every time we come here on Monday nights.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
So do we have any more questions? What were you going to say?
No, it's just.
I thought tonight was great. I really appreciated you showing that inside cut like that. That's one of the hardest things.
That in a straight line.
Yeah. Julie wanted to know, is that painted right on the brick? No, it was painted on a board. Yes.
Yeah, it's painted on MDF because when we decide to relocate, we want to take that with us because that is really, you know what, even if there's nothing left on that sign, it's still special. It's going to go with us and it's going to be with us everywhere we go. Thanks again, Craig. So good to see you, man. I wish we could get up and see you and Mary.
You guys, you're the best. Okay, so we're getting right at the end of the live stream. If y'all don't give us any questions, we're going to head out and go
Get something to eat.
Go get something to eat like we do every Monday night.
That's the only night of the week we go out to eat, y'all.
Yeah.
Today we had a fantastic meeting with our new customer, and it's awesome. It was very, very positive meeting, and you know what? They bought us lunch.
But we've got a lot of really cool projects going on in the stained glass department right now, and we are filming them so that we can bring those videos to you. We've got 2 really fun projects, colorful, totally different, but it just takes time to film them. We want to take you through the whole entire process instead of splitting it up, because it's hard to follow when we do it in too short.
Yeah, we'd like for you to maybe just take 15 minutes of your day and watch the whole thing and actually
they're going to be
get something out of it.
We're trying to just make them 2-part videos instead of taking them 3 and 4, because once they get to 3 and 4 parts, it's kind of hard to people to find them.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to be sharing Jenny Dalton's and her husband's window with you.
Yeah, that video.
That is nice. Absolutely a beautiful Pelican in flight, and it's going up to their house, their home up in Little River, South Carolina.
You should send her some pictures to update her.
I can do that tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so everybody, have a nice evening.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, the new hats will be online by the end of the week for you. The navy blue aprons are now available.
Yeah, the navy. Yeah, everything for that is back in stock. We might have 1 green hat, but we've got these new colors. How do you price your dichroic jewelry? I think dichroic jewelry, I don't know. I'm just going to tell you ours sells for between $20 and $35 a piece. So, but
they're about 1 inch by 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch by 1 inch. Yeah, between $20 and $35.
Hi, Karen. Karen's doing a promo for us right now.
You go, girl.
Yeah, and Patco is a wonderful person, and he's located. Where's Pat located?
Pat is Virginia? Up in central Virginia, just out, I guess, on the lake outside of, is it in Danville or somewhere in that area, central Virginia?
Karen knows. I forget. I always think he's in Florida for some reason, but he's not. So Ed knows where he's at.
He's in central.
Okay. So we're going to go, and we're going to go have dinner. Y'all have a nice evening.
Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, send us your questions during the week. Cutoff time is Sunday for Monday night's delivery. And we look forward to hearing from you all week. Again, everybody, take a few minutes. If you haven't, please subscribe to our channel. We hope that our knowledge of sharing our knowledge with stained glass with you is helping you through your endeavor in this fascinating art field that we all enjoy.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.